Okay, this may be the greatest lesson you'll ever experience at a high school, right? My year 12s have told me that the best lessons I've ever done is just the real talk ones, okay? Which you won't get from anyone else because they just pussyfoot around and don't tell you the reality of the situation. Why am I doing this lesson? Because yesterday and like the previous couple of weeks, I see people dawdling on this timeline, right? Do you know what you're supposed to be taught for year 11 maths? No? I know. It's written here. Do I get to decide what you're supposed to be taught for year 11 maths? Who? Who decides? You're in, say, stage 1. So they decide. This has run before. This covers everything. I know it works. So why would I change it? I'm not allowed to ask them, oh, could you reduce less because I think my 2024 year 11s are a little slow. I can't change them, okay? This is a metaphor for what's going on here right now. If you miss the bus and you see it driving off, what's the solution next time? Be early. Get there faster, okay? I'm showing you how to do the stuff. You need to get onto the exercises straight away. Do you agree that we laugh and joke around a little bit? Am I freaking like, am I a dictator all the time? Today has to be that. Because you're not going to be ready for your assessment if I don't, okay? And I'm going to prove it to you. So today is a real talk lesson on speed and not wasting time. So in volume, which is what I taught on Tuesday, your double lesson, that was 7E.2, all of this. 25 answers. Why have I chosen that? Because that's the second most I asked for. The most is 27, all right? And you're 27. 25 is a big number. 25 is freaking huge, okay? But let's time it. Let's time it. Because now that you're seeing what I'm trying to do, can you already feel what I'm trying to prove here? Do any of you do homework on the weekends? Do you just ignore my homework reminders? All right, let's start, and I'm going to waste time as well. I'm just going to take a real cruisy. Start. 7E.2, question 1. We're doing this because if you haven't done it, it'll still be useful for you. If you haven't done it, yeah? 7E.2, question 1A. What shape is that 1A? Question 1A, it's not a cube, it's got different lengths. So the volume of it would be 8 times 3 times 4. Grab a calculator, walk over real slow. 8 times 3 times 4. What units would that be in? 96 cubic meters. What was the next one we had to do? C. What shape is that? It's a wedge, but I called it something particular on the lesson. It was it's a triangular prism because it's the same shape all the way through. Now, what you were told is that the volume of a prism is the area of the cross section times by the depth. All of this, I don't know. I don't need to know that because does it tell me the area of the end of it? Yeah. All right. So the volume is 1.73 times by, how deep is it? 3.2. 3.2 times by 1.73, 5.536. 5.536, what units? Meters, cubic meters. What's the next one? D. Have I given you a formula for the volume of this shape? Well, no. But is it a prism? It's like a jelly bean shaped prism. Do I know what the area of the end is? Yes. So it's 74.6 times by, and then it's 5 depth. I'm old. I'm like 40. 74.6 times by 5. 373. What units is that going to be? Centimeters. What's next? F? What shape is that? Is there a formula from that lesson, or what I asked you to get down if it was a useful use of your time? V is equal to pi times pi. Does F tell me what the radius is? It's 8.2, and I need to square that times pi. How tall is it?
13.9.
Oh, it's taking a pretty long time. What was it again? Pi.
Did you press the?
No, I'm just starting a new line. Pi times pi. What's the radius? 8.2 squared times pi
13.9.
13.9. 2936.25. 2936.25.
0.24.
But you're not up to the exercise yet. That was 12. The number after decides what the 4 becomes. Is this number after 4, 5 or larger? So what happens to the 4? It increases by 1. Cubic centimeters to 2 dp. Do you agree that I'm dawdling a little bit?
Yeah.
Would you like me to continue and finish the whole thing? I'll finish I'll finish 70.2 up to what I asked you, which was 11, and it should take 15 minutes. I did it on the piece of paper before. Now you tell me, because you're young adults and I treat you like that, okay? The only time I ever want to act like a teacher is freaking times like this, because I'm not seeing the activity or people acting like young adults, right? Oh, I can finish this to prove my point, okay? And also, is it taking longer because I'm talking at you? What would you like me to do? Finish it off? Or have I proved my point? I proved my point, okay? See what I mean by a real talk lesson? Now, I've just roasted you, right? It's probably not the greatest time to be asking for, can you review me on the pivot survey? Right? The other thing that your other teachers have been asked to do is you're only supposed to cherry pick your teachers, the class that you want to do a pivot survey on. So most teachers, what would they choose? Their best class? That's not me. I'm asking every class to do it because all of your input matters. And it's probably not the best time to be asking you for a review because I just called you out. But if you're a young adult, maybe think about it. Okay? Because last year I could have very easily, I've got a photo. Last year at school photos, this is what I looked like. 125 kilos. And every day I was making excuses. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's going to take too long. I can't. What do you think I did? Did I stop making excuses? I'll get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day and row for 2 hours. Is there even a possibility of not achieving what I did if you do the right thing? There's no possibility, okay? So what I would like you to do, is spend some time catching up on that timeline that you told me. Oh, great, it's too hard, okay? Get up to the end of 7F. If you need to do homework over the weekend, actually do it. Alright? And then start on the write-up of your chess piece. Okay? Now one thing that I will be nice about is I asked the other teacher, we're going to push your measurement test back a week. If it was only up to, his class is like lagging a little bit too. If it was only up to me, I would just run it at week 7. So that you get a consequence for being a little slow. Okay? Is that giving you a little extra chance by pushing it back a week? Would some of you be honourable enough to I'm not going to force different people, but with the lesson that I've delivered now, really you should be taking it in week 7. Because if we push back, there's always a consequence. We're just going to have to rush something else later if we push it back, don't we? Yeah? So can you ever think about what I've just talked about today? It's not targeted at anyone in particular.